Right. In today's class, we are going to discuss about data reduction. That is one of the data pre-processing technique. Let us see what is data reduction and what is the importance of data reduction in data mining. Okay. Right. Data reduction. What is data reduction here? Data reduction is a technique to obtain a reduced representation of the data. So what we are going to do in this data reduction? Okay, in this here we are going to reduce the representation of the data, whatever we have the data in databases. Okay, the databases data is going to reduce. Okay, here we are going to reduce the databases data, and here you need to follow one more important point, that is while minimizing the loss of information content. Whenever you are going to reduce the database data, okay, at that time you need to remember one more thing, that is uh, you should minimize the loss of the information content. Sometimes the what deleted information may be useful for that particular table. In such a cases, you won't delete such kind of important contents, which means fields of that particular table, isn't it? So while reducing the data or while removing some data from your table, okay, better to think once and twice whether this particular field or particular row is important to this particular table or not. If it is not that much important, okay, if we remove one column of data from the table, so it won't affect the other contents or the other things of that particular data, then you can eliminate easily. Okay, that is the point. Actually, what is the need, why data reduction is performed, why are we going for a data reduction concept? Okay, for this, a database or a data warehouse may store terabytes of data in real time. Our database or our databases have some terabytes of data, right? So for analyzing of these terabytes of data is too complex. Okay, analyzing, which means searching for something or some performing some operations on that particular data is too difficult, and it's a it needs a more time. Okay, so that's why we are in need of reduction of the data here. What is the importance of data reduction? In general cases, database or data warehouse may have some terabytes of data within it. So to perform some searching or analyzing the data is too difficulty and complex. Okay, it takes a lot of time for searching also. To overcome these problems, here we are going for a data reduction. Okay, data reduction. How we are going to perform the data reduction? Here we are going to change the representations by changing the first method is, okay, changing the representations or reducing the representations of the data in data warehouse or database. That is the first data reduction technique here we are going to know. Not only this, here we have some data reduction strategies are there. Okay, now we have 4 data reduction strategies are there. What is the first one here? The first one is data cube aggregation. Second one is attribute subset selection. Third one is numerosity reduction. Fourth one is dimensionality reduction. These are the 4 data reduction strategies we have. Okay, let us discuss one by one. What is the first one? Data cube aggregation. Data cube aggregation is the first one here. First of all, what is a data cube? What is a data cube? Right. A data cube is a multi-dimensional structure. What it is? It is a multi-dimensional structure in data warehouse used to store data. Okay. For example, in general cases, how you are going to save the data in databases in the form of tables, collection of rows and columns, isn't it? Okay. In databases, you are going to, in database, which means in DBMS. In DBMS, you have learned the storing of data in the form of rows and columns or tables, isn't it? So that is the representation of data in DBMS. But coming to data warehouse, okay, data warehouse is a one of the storing repository. Okay, one of the memory, I mean storage, one can conduct storage unit to store the data, isn't it? Assume this is one. Okay, this is one database or one data warehouse here. Okay, here you are going to store the assume this is one data warehouse repository. Here you are going to save your data, isn't it? So how you are going to save the data? In this data warehouse, that is in the form of data cube. This data, in this data warehouse, the data is represented in the form of data cube. This is the diagram of data cube. This is the representation of one data cube. Okay, here you have 3 dimensions. Okay, one is branches. Okay, one is time and one is year. Okay, years are started from 2004, 2015, 2014, 2015, 16, 17. This represents the, okay, what years, and this one is time, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. This represents time, and this one is branches, branch A, branch B, branch C. If you store your data, okay, in the form of data cube in data warehouse, in data warehouse, you can save the data in the form of data cube. Data cube is a one of the multi-dimensional structure to store the data in data warehouses. Clear? Or you may say that when data is grouped or combined in multi-dimensional matrices is called a data cube. What is data cube here? Okay, if you want to, okay, combine the data or group the data in the form of multi-dimensional matrices, then that representation is called a data cube here, right? And the data cube method has few alternative names, such as this data cube may also called as multi-dimensional database, or materialized views. or materialized views, and one more name, OLAP, online analytical processing. These are the other alternative names for a data cube here. What are those? Multidimensional databases, materialized views, and OLAP. OLAP. These are the other names of a data cube, isn't it? And a data cube is used to represent the aggregated data. Why are we using this data cube? This data cube is used to represent the aggregated data. So what is our heading here? Data cube aggregation. Data cube aggregation. So here we are going to perform the aggregation on the data cube data by using some OLAP operations, but now we are not discussing about OLAP operations. Just here we are going to see how the data cube data is going to aggregated. Clear? I'll give you one more example. Okay. This is the, now we are going to perform the data cube aggregation. This is the example for now. This is the example for data cube aggregation. And here this example is related to all electronic sales. What is this example? This example is related to all electronic sales. Here we have represented the data in branches and time and years. Time is represented in the form of quarters. Okay, a year has 4 number of quarters, isn't it? So that would be represented in 4 quarters: quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Okay, that is the time of a particular year, isn't it? Now the data can be aggregated so that the resulting data summarize the total sales for year instead of per quarter. Now we are going to perform aggregation in this data cube data. How we are going to perform the aggregation? Suppose here I have taken this particular part of data. I'm going to represent this data in this form. Okay, have taken only two dimensions. One is time dimension, second one is year dimension, isn't it? So by taking only these two dimensions, I'm representing one small table. Okay, this is time and this is the year. Clear? So what is the quarter one sales in 2014? In 2014, what are the quarter one sales? 200, isn't it? So this is the 200. And what is the quarter one sales in 2015? That is 210. Okay, 320, 230. So like this is the table. In normal table, rows and columns, here I have represented the cube data into this format. After this, okay, after this, I am going to add this all the sales data in quarter Y total sales. Okay, how you are going to do? So here you are going to add total 2014 sales per year. So what is the addition of this? 1640. 1640. Okay, so in this format you are going to represent that data. We are going to add these quarters information into a year. 4 quarters is also called as 1 year, isn't it? So here you are going to represent 2014, total 2014 sales is 1640. as well as total 2015 sales are the, okay, 1710. This is the second one. Okay. Like this, you are going to aggregate here, just here you are going to perform the aggregation, which means the sum. Instead of taking a quarters representation, just here you are taking the representation in the form of a year. Okay, that is the, okay, by this you are going to reduce the number of okay, number of rows data, isn't it? Here you may reduce your data. Instead of representing like this, just you can write, instead of these 4 rows, you can just take for 16, 40, 17, 10, okay, 20, 20, 17, 50. Okay, a year. Just you can take single year of data, and you will, instead of 4 rows, you can write only single row of data here. Okay, by adding the quarters data into a year data. That is the aggregation, data cube aggregation. Data cube aggregation in the sense you are going to add the quarters data, okay, into a year data. Then automatically you may reduce 4 columns, 4 rows data into a single row data. That is the data cube aggregation here. If you will see again here, the data can be aggregated so that the resulting data summarize the total sales for year. The resulting data summarize the total sales per year instead of per quarter. Here the representation is in the form of quarter. Okay, whenever we perform the aggregation operation, automatically this total data is summarized as a year data. This is the data cube aggregation here. Is it clear? Okay. Next, the second one, the second technique of data reduction is attribute subset selection. What it is? Attribute subset selection. For example, if we have a table, the table may have multiple number of attributes, isn't it? Attributes may call the field names or column names of the table is called attributes. Okay, how we are going to, I mean, how we are going to select that attributes, important attributes from that particular table. Suppose one table has, okay, 10 number of attributes, 10 number of fields, but whether all the fields are important or not. If important, you can you can use all, you can keep it all the attributes. If not, better to select the important attributes from the important columns from the table. Okay, you can remove the unimportant fields from the table. That is the concept of attribute subset selection. Okay, attribute subset selection in the sense, here we are going to select the attributes from the total number of attributes. So which attributes are important, those attributes only we can make it as subset. Then the remaining attributes are going to remove from the table. This is the concept. Okay, attribute subset selection reduce the data set size by removing relevant or redundant attributes. Okay, whichever the duplicate attributes are there, we are going to remove those attributes. No need of keeping such kind of attributes into the table, isn't it? So by doing the attribute selection, also we can reduce the table size, isn't it? What is our concept? Data reduction. How you are going to reduce the data from a table? Okay, by choosing. Okay, how you are going to reduce the attributes from the table? Just by selecting few attributes from the set of attributes. That is called subset attributes selection. The goal of attribute subset selection, the goal of attribute subset selection is to find a minimum set of attributes. What is the goal of attribute subset selection? Just to find a minimum set of attributes. It reduces the number of attributes appearing in the discovered pattern and helping to make the patterns easier to understand. Okay, if your table has 10 number of columns means it is little difficult to understand, but if you have only 5 number of field columns of data means it is better, it is little bit better than the 10 columns, isn't it? If the number of columns are reduced in a table means automatically it would give some better performance than the more attributes. Okay, and also it is easy to understand, isn't it? That is the importance of attribute subset selection. And actually here we are having 4 types of attribute, 4 techniques are there to select the attributes. I will discuss these techniques in tomorrow's class.